Hello, and welcome back to Dirty 20s D&D. I'm Kieran, the Dungeon Master for our upcoming campaign, Icarius, the Black Between the Stars. And joining me today for a special one-on-one interview is Morgan. We're going to be talking about her character for the game that is going to be streaming on Sunday, May 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern, so be sure to join us for the first episode then, but for now, how you doing today, Morgan?
I'm good. How are you, dude?
I'm alright, I'm good. So, for everyone out there, would you mind introducing yourself a little, aside from your character, so they can get to know you a little bit?
Yeah, I'm Morgan Schweitzer. I am 22 years old. I just graduated college. I got my BA in theater, so be prepared for that, I guess. But yeah, I got to know Kieran through Sophia, who's also playing our game, and I'm really glad to be here.
Alright, that's great. Now, let's get to talking about your character. Can you tell us their name, a basic rundown of race, class, whatever would jump out to the viewers as important?
Yeah, so I am playing Dr. Enya Hadley. She is a variant human cleric 2, cleric level 2. But she is kind of this dark and mysterious woman who has a bit of a secret in her past, but she packs a pretty big punch, so, you know.
Now, what inspired you to create Dr. Hadley, her backstory? I mean, don't give away what exactly that is yet, but what were your main influences?
When you talked to me about for this campaign doing kind of a sci-fi thing, I immediately knew that I wanted to play some sort of mad scientist, because I've always had that kind of interest in that macabre and reanimator style type feeling, and I thought that she fit that feeling and the atmosphere of it being somewhat futuristic while still being fantasy for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, what led you to choosing cleric? What drew you about that class?
Yeah, so Enya is a mortician by trade. She studied multispecies surgical studies and things like that. So she has gone to medical school and done all of those kinds of things. So cleric was one of the first things I jumped towards. It was what made the most sense for with the way I like to build characters. I like to build the person and build their abilities and like who they are around that. So when I was making this character, I think that cleric was the best path for her for sure.
And human, what led you to going with that?
They're not super. I don't think a lot of people don't play as humans in D&D, and not to be like quirky or different, but I wanted to challenge myself a little bit. I thought it would be an interesting variant human was an interesting thing to me. And even though it's one of the most mundane things, I want to see how much I can like be successful with a character who's seen as arguably a little bit weaker than others, you know?
So, consider this question to your character more so than to you. You know, obviously having barriers to truth up and not really wanting to reveal some things. What led Dr. Hadley to leaving home? Can she reveal that, or is that something that you would like to keep hidden?
I don't think she would tell anyone. I think she would. She has some secrets, and she knows that for sure. And she doesn't quite know who she can trust from her home planet. So she needed to go out and find something new, new people that she can build a relationship with, not necessarily anyone who she knew before.
What would she say to someone if they asked, you know, just casually sitting at a bar in a far-off world?
She would say something along the lines of, well, don't we all have our secrets? I think it's best you mind your own business in this area, definitely. And she would just kind of walk away.
All right. What was your favorite part of creating Dr. Hadley? What decision were you just came to and you were really happy with it?
I think deciding that I wanted her to be a mortician. Me as a person, I love spooky things. I love all kinds of macabre and like that kind of style. And I think adding that into a sci-fi setting is really interesting because there's a lot of possibilities there that we don't really know what would be happening yet. I think that was kind of deciding her previous occupation was one of my favorite parts of building her for sure.
And perhaps the last question. What is your favorite thing about Dr. Hadley? Her attitude, depth, history, combat abilities. Perhaps something to do with the deity who gives her power. What do you really enjoy about this character?
I think her relationship with her deity is one of the most interesting parts about her. And I don't want to reveal too much because that'll come later, but I think that it's a very complex, not your typical cleric kind of relationship with their god. And there'll definitely be some interesting things that go on there.
Well, now is as good a time as any to open the floor to you. Is there anything else you would like to reveal or say about your character before we begin?
I will let everybody know she's a death domain cleric. So she's kind of an edgelord. I hated that. Anyway, but she's I think I don't know. That's pretty much it. She's pretty well summarized, I think.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Morgan. I will see you again soon in just a few days when we begin our new campaign, Icarius, the Black Between the Stars, on Sunday, May 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern on our Twitch channel. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you then. All right.